Hey guys, Buffner Gaming here, bringing back another video, and today I want to do a quick review of the Ground War mode that we saw in Call of Duty Modern Warfare's beta here on weekend 2, and comparing it just to Battlefield and then my overall opinions, because I myself am an old school Battlefield player as well as a Call of Duty player, and overall my thoughts on the Ground War mode 32v32 was very positive. I thought it actually compared very well to Battlefield in most parts. It was basically your large-scale infantry-sized Battlefield maps that we're used to. But they did have the additions of the little birds and then obviously the tanks. Not heavy tanks, just the light tanks, and also armored personnel carriers. So I think some good things to take away from this mode are that the APCs are mobile spawn points, which is definitely comes in clutch. If you're getting dominated and the enemy has all the flags, you have a mobile spawn point. There was many occasions where that APC flanked around like the far end of the map and I was able to spawn close to an objective when the other team was maybe occupied on flags the opposite side of the map. So we were able to basically have a flanking mobile spawn point to spawn in and take objectives that way. Also, I really thought the tanks weren't that overpowered. They were one-shot kills, especially had a very big splash damage range to them, but they weren't that overpowered. They were pretty easy to take out, actually. All you need is a few teammates to carry some rocket launchers, and you can be taken down in that tank pretty easily. There was a couple occasions where I had really big kill streaks in them, but again, no one was shooting rockets at me, so you can get away with it for a while, but I suspect when the full game comes out, you're going to have a lot more players carrying rocket launchers. The other thing was the little birds. I really like this touch. Obviously, we see little birds in all these vehicles in Battlefield, but again, it's just one way to traverse easily from one end of the map to the other, and also to parachute onto these tall buildings like some of the towers in the middle of the map that we saw on the quarry map. But it was funny, there's a couple occasions where you're easily able to shoot down little birds, and sometimes little birds would try and do a aerial flag capture, like coming into A and try to cap it from the air, and then I would easily just take them out with a tank or a rocket launcher. So they're very easy to take out. I think it's more realistic than Battlefield in that they can be taken down easier with bullets and especially rockets, but I was able to shoot players out of the little birds a lot easier than you can in Battlefield. So I did like that aspect. You're not really safe in a vehicle in this game, which is good. It puts more of the emphasis on the ground gameplay, which everyone's used to in Call of Duty, while making it fun and adding that extra layer to it. Overall, the map itself, I really liked the gameplay in this. It was, you could be able to spread out the gameplay from E to A flags, but also that central location D, C, and B was a huge meat grinder area, and I loved being in those buildings and trying to get into the C flag or even into the B flag on that second and third floor, and basically it's every single room you're gonna run into enemies. So it's pretty much your team stacked up, moving into that building room to room, clearing rooms against the other team, and I like that a lot. You get the large scale battles with that Call of Duty feel. So definitely for me, it's giving me that Battlefield feel. I know Battlefield, again, hasn't produced a great title in my opinion since Battlefield 4, and even that wasn't shaky, but that's the only one that holds up today. Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 1, and Battlefield 5, I am not a big fan of those games whatsoever. And for me, who's a player that's interested in modern, realistic, more tactical, grounded in reality type combat, this is the game that I've been waiting for a while, and unfortunately Battlefield just has not delivered in years, and they've had many opportunities to come out with another great modern shooter and just haven't done so. And Call of Duty swept in, and I think is going to take a large part of Battlefield's audience who's been disgruntled over the years and has been asking for this type of game and hasn't got it. This is also a good indication to what the Battle Royale could be. So this is obviously only 32v32, so 64 players, and then you have Call of Duty Black Ops 4's Battle Royale mode, which has 100 players in it, and the rumor for Modern Warfare's Battle Royale is 150 to 200. So this being a large-scale battle, there's some things to take out of this, is that it's not really difficult to see players. Obviously, there can be some dark areas in rooms and windows and things like that, which they've already said that they're going to fix prior to launch, but I didn't have any issues seeing players, whereas if you look at Blackout, in that game, I have a lot of trouble seeing players in rooms, hiding in shadows, etc. For some reason on this map itself, on the quarry map for Ground War, I didn't have difficulty seeing players on the enemy team. And it really put into perspective what a large-scale Battle Royale what a large-scale Battle Royale game mode could do in Modern Warfare, and I'm honestly really excited for it. I really want to see a Battle Royale to this mode, whether it's released with the game at launch or post-launch. I think the longevity for a type of mode like that with this game is basically the ultimate Battle Royale. You're going to have all the great aspects of PUBG and everything rolled up into one, and there's really no modern combat contender in the Battle Royale market to PUBG, and this I think could be one. Black Ops 4's Blackout started out more grounded in reality, and it swayed further and further from that. So unfortunately, they didn't stay the course with that game, but I think if Modern Warfare does do the Battle Royale, which it seems like they're going to, it's almost a guarantee at this point from some of the data mining that the PC gamers have done, I think it's going to be a huge contender to PUBG and easily overtake the Battle Royale market. besides Fortnite, obviously, because Fortnite is its own little niche, but everything else, I think Modern Warfare can easily take the Battle Royale market by storm. I did also really like, believe it or not, some little things here, the parachuting in the ground war mode. If you got up into the little birds and parachuted down, your character actually pulls a chute and holds on to the parachute to steer himself down. So other games where there's parachutes in the first person mode, obviously PUBG I think is similar, but if you look at like Battlefield 4 and the Battlefield games, you're always carrying your gun when you're going in the parachute, so you can shoot while parachuting. In this game mode, it didn't seem that you could. You had to control the parachute with both hands, and the parachute, in my opinion, was more realistic looking than any other game we've seen as far as your character pulling it and then also controlling it on the way down. Now, it's also confirmed by Infinity Ward there is going to be 100 player modes in this, so whether it's be 50v50 ground war or that's the battle royale that they're talking about, but they said at launch there is going to be 100 player supported mode, so I'm assuming some of the maps for ground war will be bumped up to 50v50. And they may even surprise us at launch and have that Battle Royale mode or some aspect of that within the Spec Ops, whether it's a specific type of survival mode, similar to Escape from Tarkov that I talked about in a previous video, which would be a player versus environment mode, where they would also have AI-controlled characters on the map. So we'll have to wait and see what they do for launch. But overall, the Ground War mode I really liked. I enjoyed it a lot. Sniping felt good. There was a lot of high areas, the cliffs, the buildings you could get to. Everything felt pretty natural, and it's really what I would expect from a Battlefield game at this point for a, like I said, a large infantry style map. The vehicles were an added bonus. I don't think the vehicle gameplay or anything even holds a candle to Battlefield, but it doesn't need to, because they're stepping in and taking part of that market that hasn't been filled by Battlefield in a while, and everybody knows Call of Duty isn't known for vehicle combat but infantry combat. So just to throw in some vehicles that we've seen with the light tanks, the armored personnel characters, and the little birds, I think is really cool. But another thing is just when you start off on the map and you land that infill scene, how cool is that? I really like that. Talk about setting the stage for a big, large-scale battle mode. I think Infinity Ward and Activision are going to have something special with this game going forward, and I'm really excited to see what a Battle Royale infiltration scene would look like coming out of a C-130 or something like that. I think the opportunities here are endless for Infinity Ward. It's just a matter of how they execute things going forward. Another thing is, at first I really wasn't a huge fan of the Ground War mode. I found myself wanting to level up my weapons and having difficulty when I first jumped in the first couple games, but once I got used to the map and really got out of that 6v6 and that 10v10 mindset and more into a large-scale battle mindset where I had to be careful where I move, be sure I'm checking my corners, clearing buildings, clearing rooms, and also keeping an eye on the mini-map, I started playing them much better. And it really is important in this mode, specifically for this map, obviously the only one we've played, but to know the map, to know where the bulk of the enemy forces are going to be by reading your mini-map, but also judging by what the flag cap situation looks like and knowing where to move, whether you're going to flank wide to different objectives or cut through, and also when to use your kill streaks. And kill streaks are something that I didn't think was overpowered in this game mode. I was a little worried at first, but really, again, everybody's carrying rocket launchers and other kill streaks, so I didn't think that the aerial kill streaks specifically were overpowered whatsoever. The attack choppers, etc., everything got shot down relatively quick. I think you can get maybe 5 or 6 kills, and then you're going to have that 1 or 2 people on the other team who shoot you down with that rocket launcher. Besides the Harrier that was shooting through buildings, other than that, I think everything was okay. So I'm really excited to see what this mode looks like going forward. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of this game mode. Did you enjoy it? Is this not your cup of tea? Do you prefer the 6v6 and the 10v10 modes, or did you like this mode a lot? I know a lot of the other YouTubers and players I've seen really like this mode and were surprised by it, and then you have the Battlefield community that is also pretty much surprised by it and likes it a lot. But again, they're saying similar to what I am, it's not Battlefield, but it doesn't need to be. They don't need to compete with Battlefield. They're their own niche, and this mode itself is gonna pull in the Battlefield audience for the most part, in my opinion, until DICE and EA decide to deliver an actual Battlefield title in the future. So let me know in the comments below what you think, and until next time, Buffner Gaming, out.
Enemy UAV overhead. Impact, no joy. Enemy UAV overhead. Bravo. Enemy UAV overhead. Securing B. Friendly IAV dropping. Friendly UAV overhead. We're taking Echo. Bravo secure. Enemy UAV overhead. We're holding Echo. Friendly chopper gunner remote. Enemy personal radar in the air. Friendly counter UAV active. We've lost Echo. Got a chopper on station, needs a gunner. Hostiles at Bravo, go. Hostiles are taking Delta. Fire! Support helo ready to launch.
Come in, actual. Ready for air support.
Hunter 2-1 on station. Weapons hot.
Friendly enemy UAV overhead. Hostiles have Delta. Hello. Be advised. Friendly
On target. Engaging.
friendly UAV overhead.
Come in, actual. Ready for air support.
Need backup at Alpha. Friendly UAV overhead.
He's messed up. Just took out a whole group.
We're taking Echo. Be advised. Friendly precision air.
Taking two left. I can throw. Going down. Stay back.
Enemy UAV overhead. We're holding Echo.
Yeah, you got him.
We're on Delta. Stand by.
Enemy missile lock. This is Outlaw. We're RTV for refuel. Good luck, guys.
Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Allied cruise missile away. We've lost A. We're holding Delta. Friendly UAV overhead. Securing A. Friendly VTOL on station for
Safe.
Overwatch. We're holding Alpha. UAV overhead. Enemy personal radar in the air. Hostiles are taking Echo. Be advised, friendly precision airstrike inbound. Friendly IAV dropping in. Hostiles have Echo. Friendly UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. Be advised, friendly gunship in the area. Enemy UAV overhead. Allied cruise missile away. Friendly VTOL on station for Overwatch. Friendly UAV overhead. Allied cruise missile away. We're taking Charlie. Friendly counter UAV active. Friendly UAV overhead. Capture Charlie. Allied cruise missile away. We're needed today. Hostiles at Delta. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Take cover. Friendly UAV overhead.
Copy that, 1-5.
Friendly UAV overhead. Assist your team at Bravo. Friendly Wilson on station. Get it together. This ain't over yet. Enemy UAV overhead. Hostiles at Bravo. Friendly UAV overhead. We're taking Echo. Enemy UAV overhead. Hard day, lads. Clean yourselves up.